Okay, so the plan for today, redesign this Titanfall clip, and maybe try and make some source. I've not really got a plan for the source, I'm just going to see what happens. I know that I need some more whooshy stuff. So I'm going to try and remake something like some more of this kind of stuff. It sounds really weird. I don't know if I've... Hold on. There we go. That's better. Am I recording today? Yep. Started the recording. Yep. We're good to go. This will be going up on YouTube later on. I thought I got that overlay set up so I could see the comments, but apparently not. So yeah, I'll probably just need to flick back and forth between this thing. Now I can see it here. It'd be good if I could see it on the main screen though. I don't know, but yeah, it's recording. Okay. So we're gonna make some source. Right, let's see. We're gonna get some like animal sounds or something like that and start with that. And then we'll try and, well, no, we'll start with the synthy stuff because I've got loads of that already designed. So synth elements here. Not this. Quite like that. That could be quite cool. Maybe not. That's cool. Sounds cool. Busy with work. Yep, that's cool. I think some of this Doppler sub stuff, that could be quite interesting. And then maybe some high-end stuff. It shouldn't all be bass. You need some of the whooshy high-end stuff. Yep, that'll do. Oh, that was nice. Let's take this whole thing here. Oh, let me just group all this so I don't deafen you. We'll put all this through a group and then put a limiter on that just in case it gets a bit loud. Because when you add all these effects it can get, you know, a bit too loud. So we're going to use the, what are we going to use? Waves L1. Wow, that's taking a long time to load. Does this text never go away? Hold on, I'm going to quickly edit this. Chat box, hide, save. Cool. Okay, so we've got the L1 there. So let's just see what we can do here. We've got this thing. We'll start with this one. Okay. So I'm going to take this to a new track. I like to have these a certain color. So yeah, let's do that. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've not actually got a plan for this. I'm just going to see what happens, and if we get something cool, we get something cool. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it's important that if you're watching this, you know, you're aware that not everything just works perfectly. So the first thing I'm going to do is load up Disperser, and we're going to see what this does. Okay. That's quite interesting. Okay, so we'll keep that. Then we will use... I got some free plugins, let's try some of them. So I'm going to use Temper. And this is apparently some sort of distortion unit. Let's see what that does. Okay, that's quite interesting. I might take that off later on, but we'll see what happens. Get rid of that. What do I want to do with this? Certainly not that. I could do with something like Soothe. That tends to take all the harshness off the top end. But I've now actually got it. But if you did have it, you'd probably use it here. Okay, didn't work. Then we're going to use Manipulator. Dry wet down a little bit. You don't need every effect to be full on. You can have just a little bit of each. That's what I tend to do. I would never just go for fully wet signal there. So we'll take it to right here. Okay, that's sounding cool, but I want it a little bit... What's this? No, I want it to be a little bit wider. So we're going to add the waves. Maybe the H delay. I don't know what's up with these waves plugins today. They're taking a long time to load. Okay. So set this to milliseconds, ping pong, bring this way down, bring this way, maybe not as low as that, like that. And I'll put this at about 30%, bring that down. We'll put lo-fi on just for fun, why not? A little bit of this, and high pass a little bit. Dry wet down even more. Cool, that'll do. Then we're going to add one of these. I'm not convinced with this. Same with this. Oh shit. Same with this thing here. I don't know if I'm keen on it. I'm going to bypass that for now. I'm going to go here, bring the dry wet down a touch. Oxford inflator. And that can be too much sometimes. Okay. Then we'll add... What have we got? I want to get some movement going on, so we're going to try the GRM stuff. I've got loads of new plugins, like all these free plugins. And it's just confusing me, I can barely see what I've got. Right, comb filler. It's kind of cool, but it's a bit much. I'm just going to use presets on this, and if something good happens then I'll keep it, but I might not even use it. Kinda cool. So I'm going to duplicate this, Control R, that's going to render it out with all the effects. I'm going to drag it to a new thing, keep it in that same group, so it's got the limiter, and then stretch this out. That's kind of cool. I'll keep that there, but I don't know, I might not use it. I think it'd be cool with a Doppler on it, which is what we're going to do next. Replace this with the GRM Doppler. Now I'm going to add 2 Dopplers to this, because if I wanted to automate this, I need to like manually draw it in, whereas the waves one just kind of goes round and round, so we're going to use that one. But this is just going to be for a little bit of movement. Okay. Mix down a touch. So the idea here is that we're just making kind of general source sounds. It doesn't need to be fully polished, you know, it's just going to be a layer. I'm not thinking in terms of complete sounds. Like this, it's not that good on its own, but once we start layering it up, it'll sound much better. Get rid of that. Right, so we've got the Doppler. Then we're going to add the sound ties. Add this. Jeez, oh. I don't know why this is taking so long to load. I don't want to restart Reaper either. Okay. Now, there's a lot of bass in this. So I'm going to just take that out. We're going to use the Pro Q3. Do a bit of this. Drop it off. About here, we actually don't want much bass in this sound. This is more like a top end kind of crunchy layer. Make this dynamic. I always take out like around about 250. Just like that. And then add a little bit top end. Okay. Duplicate this. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm happy with that. Then this one here. I'm going to just pitch this down even more and see what we can get. There we go, that's kind of crunchy. I think if we boost the volume up here, it'll like modulate the filter freak a bit more. a bit low. Cool, sounds decent. Now what else can we do here? Let's try and use some Valhalla. Supermassive. I think this is free, so might as well give it a go. So this is how I make a lot like a lot of this stuff. Let me see if I can find it. A lot of this. Oh. A lot of that stuff is just Valhalla Supermassive. Yeah, and a little bit of Doppler stuff. Basically kind of the same things I've done here. We don't want too much. One of these. This is free as well, I think. That's quite nice. Let's distort that. Okay, that's kind of cool. So I'm going to just try one thing now. I'm going to duplicate this. We're going to render, well, bounce this down with the effects on it. Then we're going to drag this over to a new track. We'll just put it here. Yeah, that's the plan. Drag this to here. Do this a bunch of times. This might not work, but it could be quite interesting. Group all of these. Pitch this one up. This one down. Okay. Okay, then loop this. We're going to give this a nice color. And then we're going to hit G3, which is the macro for this variator thing. So I've got some presets here. I'm going to just try and do something. Let's hit mutate. And then Chernobyl, and that'll like cut it up like this. And this is like trial and error. This can just sound good straight away, or it can never sound good. So we do that a bunch of times. Then, yep, add the L1 to this. Or, the wave stuff's loading really slow, so I'm going to use this instead. Okay. So that gives us all this kind of weird shit. Loop this again. You know what? I'm going to just do something a bit more extreme. I think that was quite subtle. And just chopped it up and it didn't sound that impressive. So I'm going to save this to slot 5 there. We're going to load this up. I'm just going to do some weird shit here. This is free to get. I think you need this, like, what do you call it? Like SWS or something like that? Yeah, but anyway, just Google it. It's Variator. And it's pretty good. Especially if you need to make, we'll keep that off. Especially if you need to make variations on something. Say you've got like 10 tracks, load this thing up and just hit mutate, and then it just kind of sounds nice. Of course, sometimes you'd need to go back in and edit the sound and, you know, change the starting points and things like that, but it gets you like 90% of the way there. Okay, so there we go. We've made this a little bit more extreme. Hit this, Chernobyl, hit this. Make sure I've got the limiter. Okay, cool. Mutate again, mutate again, mutate again. I want to get rid of these like hard edges here. So maybe I'll bring the fades up a little bit. Mutate again. What happens if we Chernobyl again? Then hit this once more. Okay, interesting. Then we're going to load up something like GRM Doppler. GRM Doppler stereo, but we don't want it to go too crazy. So we'll just bring this to here. Circle frequency down, channel separation, something like that. This sounds a bit weird, this bit. Okay, then we're going to distort that using trash 2. Just a bit of saturation, probably be all we need. Okay, nothing fancy. I'll add a filler. It's quite a lot of high end there. Okay, then we're going to add a... Hold on a second. Then we're going to add... disperser. I'm just kind of trying things out. If it doesn't work, we can just delete the effects we don't like. Sound toys, we're going to add this phase. What? No. Not that one. Place with phase mistress. Modulation. We don't need all that all the way up. Just a little bit. Gonna add one of these. This is free, I think. Very speed. It's pretty cool. Yeah, worth getting. UHE. Ubic. Ah, yeah. Let's use this. I'm going to bypass that. I'm not going to use that. Yeah, that sounds interesting. So that's cool. I'm actually quite happy with this. What we're going to add next is I want even more movement. We've got like the pan and movement from the Doppler, but I think if we added something like what we're looking for, Filter Freak 2, and we actually probably don't need to do much here, just maybe like that, and that'll be fine. We just want some subtle movement here, nothing too crazy. Okay, bring the output up. Oh. So there's a lot of like messiness to the sound. I'm not too happy with that. So what I would like to do here is maybe try bypassing this cubic F for now and see what happens. It's still there. Oh yes, is it the cubic G? Oh, don't tell me it's a Doppler. Maybe that's a bit much. Amplitude, Doppler variation. Let's bring this down a touch. Channel phase. I've got another trick for this, so I just want to kind of get rid of a little bit of the noise to it. A little pops there, actually. I'm not too happy about that. Right, okay, well that's okay for now. I don't need that, I'm not going to use that. Phase mistress, let's bump this. Okay, right, then I'm going to add a reverb to this. No, I'm going to add wormhole first. I think that could be cool. Add one of these, really, really subtle. I'm going to disable these and just have the warp feature. Cool, that's all we're going to do there. And then Waves has got a really nice... I better save this because I think Waves is going to crash this soon. Waves has got a pretty nice Transient Shaper. So we're going to use TransX Multi-Stereo. And there's a preset that I think is going to work quite well, and it'll just give us the results we want straight away, if it ever loads. Anything in chat? No. I'm going to try avoid using the wave stuff from now on, because I honestly cannot be bothered waiting on this to load. I don't want to cancel it now because I think it'll crash the session. It's all saved, but you know. Okay, here we go. So the one I want to use is called Broken Speaker. This could be interesting. We might not use it, but... yeah, that's quite nice. Oops. It's maybe a little bit much. Okay, right, so the plan is, I'll leave that there for now, but I might bypass that later on. We're going to use some reverb. So I'm just going to use Black Hole. I want this kind of subtle. No, I don't want it subtle. I want it to be over the top. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the isotope stuff. And I'm going to take away the noise. Now I've said this on the streams before, but you've got spectral noise and you've got voice denoise. I always use the voice denoise because the spectral one just seems to take away all the high end and this just seems to do kind of a better job of it all. So we'll keep it on adaptive. We're not going to do much here, we're just going to, you know, bring this up a little bit. Okay, that's probably fine the way it is. Then we're going to de-reverb that. So we're going to add the reverb, then de-reverb it. So have it like, maybe like this. Okay, that's quite interesting. Subfilter, so we're just going to add some bass to this now. Again, I might bypass this, it kind of sounds not too bad. I think it's usable as a layer, as it is now, but we're going to just try some stuff out. Why not? Okay, might not do the de-reverb thing. Do you mind showing how you create your explosions? Mostly stuff like, yep, let's do that now. I'll quickly just add, you know, a limiter or something to this, and I'll show you how I do the explosions. Waves, oh god, it's going to take ages to load, but I need some multiband stuff on this, and then we'll call it a day with this sound. I'm going to quickly try one more thing, and then I'll get to the explosions. I need, yeah, multiband compressor or something. Shit. Okay, it's going to need to be the waves. L3LL multi stereo is what we're going to use for this. So yeah, I don't know what sample libraries you're actually using for the explosions. So I'm just going to drag in some stuff from like Boom Library or something just to show you what I would do. And then kind of layer it up and then we'll see what we get. Okay, so this might be loud, so I'll turn that down. We want to boost the bass up a touch. This, all the mids here, we're going to drop that a touch. I'm going to bring this up, and this up a wee bit as well. Okay, -12. That's probably going to be too much. We'll put it at 8 or something. And then finally, some FabFilter Pro Q3. I use Pro Q3 because it's got this dynamic thing. I don't know if any other plugins do it. Make dynamic. I'm actually going to just cut the high end a little bit here because it seems like it's got plenty already. And then at the end of the chain, I'm going to add a Transient Shaper. But I'm going to use, I think I know what part of the sound I'm going to use, and it's going to be the initials transient. The rest of it will probably just be, you know, quite a long tail on it. So I'm going to use the Transient Master, but I'm going to use it, this is Native Instruments. I'm going to use this after the limiter. If you use it before and then limit it, it's just going to get squashed down. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, let's try that. Bring the sustain down by like 10%, attack up. Anyway, that's kind of cool. You could do a lot with that. You could bounce it down, then like stretch it out. Let's see. I'll just do a quick thing here. Drag that to here. Solo this. Output stereo. Put this here. Stretch this out. Bump it up. Like, this bit might be shit. You might not want to use this, but what I tend to do is only use the start or the end. It's not like a hard rule, but it's like, this is just generally how it works out. That could be like a cool layer for something. If we add filter freak to that, or some type of filter movement, or even disperser. And then use sound ties, filter freak 1. Go here, and we just want, this could be like a general background kind of ambience layer, if you wanted. Then, oh shit, filter freak 2 is what we want. And then just keep it on default. Pitch it down even, oh shit, pitch it down even more. So there you go, that's kind of cool. That's a cool, cracky kind of, I don't know, we could run that through a Doppler, then you've got like a layer for an explosion. So let's have a look at the explosions. I won't bother with this stuff yet. We'll come back to that. So you say you've got some libraries. You say you've got boom, taunts from recordist, generate more unique content for the future. Okay. So I use some of that as well, but I actually have my own recordings for explosions. So I don't use it too much. When I started at CIG, I definitely used it all the time. And it's really, really great recordings. The one I've been using recently, let's see, PSC, oh no, we'll go to Ultimate BIM. Urban Explosions, this stuff's quite good. So I'm gonna just try some stuff with this, we'll see what we can do. Okay, that's decent. So I'm just gonna drag a few things in that sound pretty okay. That's quite stereo. We'll take that. And then we're going to take this. That seems like a weird move because it's so distorted, but we definitely want that. And then this, that's really nice. Let's take that. So, yeah, let's have a think about what we want to do. I'm going to do like a 1-2 type thing. So the first one, I always keep it to like mono. I don't know, it just seems to sound pretty decent. Let's have a listen. So this is nice. We want to exaggerate this. So I'm going to use some of the Sonox stuff. Oxford Inflator. I'm just going to go absolutely crazy with this. And then I'm going to use Transmod. I'm going to go crazy with, well, I mean, not too crazy. This is going to be kind of like the sub kind of layer. I'm going to use Pro Q3. Delete. Take away the proper bottom end stuff there. Then bring this to like 70. And then make dynamic and just do a little bump there. And then 200, we're going to just bring this down. And then we'll just, we'll leave the top end, that's fine. We want to add some of this with the transient. We maybe want to add some sort of sub thing like R bass as well. So we could do a bit of this. So that's at 70 Hertz there. Bring the sustain down. We don't need the sustain. And bring this up, bring this up. I'm going to add a limiter as well. I'd normally use the was it L1? Waves L1? But Waves has been a bit slow, so I'm just going to use this. Okay. Don't need that. So I mean, it's got the punch. It's quite punchy. Bring down that high end, bring up the bass. Maybe bring it like that. There we go. Fuse. Okay. So we're looking for plugin alliance subfilter. Come on. Maybe it's the computer that's going slow. It's not just Waves. Bring that up. I normally set the punch to like 55. Well, I used to always set it to 55. Now I'm just going to see where sounds decent. So that's a bit much. Distorts quite a bit. I'm going to bypass this. Okay, not bad. So next up, what I'm going to try and do is almost like similar processing to this, but I'm going to take out some of the bass because we got that from the first one. So we're going to use Pro Q 3 again. Take out some of the bass. This is just rough at the moment. I'm going to come back and have another look at it. You never know, these samples might not like work together. Something like that. Bring this here. Cool. I think this one here could be better. Okay. What we're gonna do is bring this down here, cut it to 100, and then we need something else that's gonna make it sound a bit more, you know, a bit more full. Yeah, L1. It's gonna need to be L1. Do you like Oxford Transmod? How different is it from Transgressor? I got Transgressor and Spiff, wondering if Transmod is worth getting. Yeah, I'd say it's worth getting. It seems pretty good. I don't use it on everything because it can kind of distort it in a weird way. So I normally use Oxford Inflator. But it's probably worth getting. If it's on sale, you know, I think I got the Sonic stuff for like 20 quid or something, £20, so it wasn't too bad. Definitely worth getting. So I'm going to just bring this down crazy amounts here, and same with this, and we're just going to see what happens. Cool. Now, I'm going to try something here. I'm going to just... Oh shit. Drag this over, bounce this down with these effects on it, and you can see this is not what you want. This is like a sausage. So I'm going to put this on a group here. I'm going to bypass this. We're going to keep this as like a backup, because I don't know if this is going to work, this idea. Then I'm going to just do a bit of this. And then some of this. Or will we do this? Yeah, I don't know where that sub hit though. Let's process this a little bit more. Right, let me think. We're going to add another Sonox, Oxford and Flare. Add one of these. Kind of just go absolutely, maybe not too crazy with it. Cool. Then we're going to add Filter Freak. And what I find this does, why I use this is just because it cleans up the tail. Like, if you just want the punchy transients, you just set it kind of short like that. I don't know if I'm keen on the... maybe I shouldn't have added the limiter there. Let's try adding this to here. This could give us some better results. Then sometimes you can really hear the resonance there as that comes down, so I'll bring this down just a touch. Okay. And then that's all going through a group there, so let's process this whole group here. Pro Q3. Bring this up to here. Do a little bit of this. And of course, make that dynamic. Then something like waves. L3. Inflator is good actually. I never really got the hang of it for a while. I never really noticed it making a difference. Then I just like put everything to max and I was like, yes, yeah, I see why people use this. So we'll do something like this. And then we've got this. These are nice, these really distorted ones. What do I want to do here? I'd like it to be like more distorted than that. There must be one where it's just super distorted. Almost. Outtakes maybe? The zoom, you think the zoom would distort? Oh, nice. Hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. One of these. And then we're gonna put this through this. Yes, here we go. Bring this down actually. Bring this up. Open up. Filter freak. What I want to do is like exaggerate all these transients, and then do the filter freak thing, so it sounds all crunchy when it comes in. So open up one of these, bring this way up. We don't need the bass, but I don't care about the bass. Something like that, and then bring this down. I want it to trigger tons, and then this will probably not play because it'll be too loud. Yeah, thought so. Honestly. Maybe not. Okay, and then something like turn twice, filter freak. We could take this out. Filter freak's a bit much. It's hard to say, really. Sometimes the samples just don't come together. It can be just a case of looking for source for ages. That's too loud, that's too quiet. Bump this up. Compress it. So something like that is what I'd usually do. Now, we can do more stuff. We can like adjust this. Where's that high end coming from? You might want to crop that. For the initial transient, you might want to use a gunshot or something. I've got this stuff here. In fact, I don't know if it's... No, we're not going to use that. And then when you're kind of happy with it, just gonna try swapping out the layers. So yeah, we'll use this. Maybe what we'll do is we'll change this to mono. Just take the right channel, then go back to here, then add some. Oh fuck. Yeah, we'll start with the GRM. We'll add some Doppler to it, and it sounds kind of crazy adding that to an explosion, but I do quite a lot these days. Just really, oh Christ, really subtle. If you have it too much, it takes all the energy away. So something like that. I'll drag this in like so, and then eventually what you'll do is you'll bounce all these out, and then they'll be in a library here or something, and then you'll drag them and make new designs from them. And then you've got this one thing that's been processed once. Eventually it'll be processed 5 or 6 times, and then you've got like a cool kind of cinematic style sound. So yeah, I mean, when I'm doing designs for things, I very rarely use raw kind of recordings. It's all processed that I've processed before. Even if it's just like all you're doing is adding a limiter and some transient shaping, I still recommend doing that, because it does make a difference. And also, the less effects you use when it comes to the actual design, the better. You want it to be as kind of simple as possible. The project, you want it to be so basic so nothing can really go wrong, or less things can go wrong. Let's add a bit of that, add this. So we've got this here. What if we drag this over? What if this went through the chain? Who knows? See? You can just reuse the chains and stuff like that. You can get cool results. So I'm gonna just save that. Yes, I did. So, as I said earlier, I only use the tail usually, so I'm gonna I won't delete it, but I'll just move this to here. And then we'll do something like this. And then bring this down. Maybe we want this lasting a little bit longer. Then maybe we want like a stereo asset there. We'll use the recordist. He's got loads of good stuff. Hey, where is it? Ultimate. It's not ultimate, is it? Ultimate Destruction? No, it's not that. Explosives. Oh, this is really nice stuff. Nice. I think these go on a little bit too long, so if you did have one of these... That does say design, I'm not going to choose a designed one. Let's just drag this in here, and we'll just do a tiny little bit of processing. I'll put this on a new track. And then we're going to add some EQ. Take away the bottom end. Do a cut at 250. Add the Doppler. You could actually add like the waves Doppler and just have it like doing actual like whooshy explosions. That could be quite interesting. But for this, we're just going to keep it kind of simple. So you just wanted to like start designing some of these libraries. You don't want to go too crazy at the beginning. We maybe want to use disperser. Something like that. That's going to add a ton of bass. And then we're going to use Ubic G. Sonox, yep, that's the one. Curve, bring that down, bring this way up. And then we're going to add the transgressor too. Something like that. Then we will add a limiter. Oh, this is taking so long. Any questions? Some great tips. Not enough stages of processing. Yeah, I think what happens is you're going to make a bunch of these things here. And you'll maybe make 20 of these explosion things. And 3 of them will sound good. And then it's that, like, that's how it works for me. Not all of them are good. Like, it can just take a while to actually build up the library of usable stuff. But the more you process it, it just gets a little bit easier. I mean, I don't think I would save this. I don't think it's anything too amazing. I wish I saved the chain for all. Like, I've done all this stuff here. What's it called? Punch. I wish I saved the chain for that. I don't know why I didn't. So let's see what we've got. So that's kind of cool. And that's just all this shit here. So we'll bring this down a touch. The Doppler is doing its thing. Disperser's adding too much space. Ubic G doesn't work. So I want to use the delay, but I don't want to have to sit through 10 minutes of the wave stuff loading. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to just like... We could easily just crop this here. Cut this here. Maybe this will work. I know some people do this. They add the actual cut for like the silence and then fade this bit in. We'll see what happens. I never do it because I feel like it just never works for me. No, didn't work. That's fine. So what we could do is instead draw some automation in here. You could just use the fades as well, but... We've got way too much bass there. That's far too much. It sounds all like boxy and weird. And okay, so what we could do now that we've got this, we could add some distortion to this. And then I'm going to render this out, then pitch it down even more, and you'll get a totally different effect. So something kind of simple. I don't want to do too much to it. Push pull. I don't know, I've never used this before. Let's see what happens. I'll bring the gain down in case it's too loud. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So we're going to bounce that down like so. We're going to drag that to here. I'm going to... I don't know about this whole section, so I'm going to delete that. Oops. Right, there we go. Do this. Do the same thing as before and just bring this bit down. Okay, that's cool. Then I'm going to Control J and that's going to combine those two things together. And then we're going to pitch that down. Maybe pitched it down a little bit too much. Okay, that's interesting. So we'll come back to here, open up sound ties, add the filler freak, and then this will just give us like the punch kind of thing. Bring the attack down, release up. Yeah, release up. Okay. And then we're gonna go for like shred or something crazy, and we're gonna bump up the input, bring down the output because we want this to distort. This could sound horrific, so it's trial and error. Now, because the attack's so slow at 100 milliseconds, we're losing the initial hit. So bring that right down. Kind of, yeah, about there will be fine. Bring that down. We're still losing it, and that's because of the distortion. So we'll put it on clean, and then we'll see what that does. If I can, yeah, there we go. Wow, I apologise if that was too loud. So then we're going to bounce this down. Yep, see, just looking at the waveform, this filter freak thing hasn't worked at all. You just lose all the transients. We want to try and keep that. So we could just mix it in 50%. It still cleans up the tail a little bit. Okay, then we could add Filter Freak 2. I normally just leave this where it is, to be honest with you. Just, it sounds decent. I always just change the mix and the modulation. Okay, that sounds decent. How Boom Design stuff is made. Yeah, I wonder that as well. I know that they use Waves Vitamin. The Boom stuff sounds so nice. I don't use it that much because it's a bit too designed. I'll use the construction kit now and then. What I really like from Boom is the Metal Titan stuff, the construction kit. I think this is great. Oh man, it sounds so good. Let's just put that through the chain and see what happens. Not much. Oh, I love that. Pitch that down. See that? So nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. They've got like a new magical library. I can't remember what it's called. Arcane Magic? I could be wrong there, I don't know, but it sounds really nice. I like that one. Definitely good for reference. When I started working at CIG, I would always use their stuff as like a template, and I would drag it into the session and just see how kind of close I could get. And even if you don't get close, you still end up making something kind of cool, so it is definitely worth it. Yeah, so let's have a listen to this. For me, I think it's a little bit too distorted. Maybe adding this wasn't the best idea, because we've got the inflator doing so much distortion already. So let's bypass this. We've got the Pro Q3. It just sounds kind of boomy. So what you could do is just, honestly, just get rid of all of that. And then keep that as like your top end kind of crunchy layer. Transgressor will sort that out as well. Bump this down. Bring this down. There you go. So bounce that down. Drag this over. Put this on a new track. But yeah, I mean, give that a go. Try that, and just once you're happy with it, just bounce it down to another track. And even just looking at the waveform, you can tell if it's got the movement that you want. Like, if it looks like a sausage and you're trying to do an explosion, maybe you've compressed it a little bit too much. But now that we've got this, we could then process this further. So maybe if we're going for like a sci-fi type of thing, we might want to add some of this. Where did it go? Fuck me. Don't know what happened there. Apologies. I don't even know what just happened there. Centaurus. Yeah, put that here. No, we didn't break anyone's speakers there. I have no idea how that happened. Okay. So then we're going to use the kilohertz disperser. This always adds a ton of bass, so you need to be careful with that. Pro Q3, bring this up. Getting a bit messy with this. But yeah, stuff like that. All useful stuff. Right. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to stop that video there, and then I'm going to start the stream itself. If anyone's got... So I find it hard to design. My issue is that I find it hard to design somewhat realistic explosions when I use too much processing. It always comes down to finding the right source. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. No, the trick is just the right source. It's just get the correct source, and then it's like more than halfway there, basically. Yeah, just try and get the right source for all these explosions. It can take a while, and sometimes like a lot of this stuff I wouldn't necessarily use. Probably I'm never gonna use that. It sounds cool, but that's nice. I think it's just knowing what you want to go for. Like maybe you want something like short and punchy, then you may be better finding something super distorted, which is hard to find in the libraries. Distorted explosion. God, honestly. Could you do something with this? Nah, rubbish. Yeah, I struggle with it as well, trying to find the right stuff. Don't know if this would be useful. Nah, it goes on too long, I think. Mm. Third person military, sure. Can't use anything sci-fi, too cinematic. Short transient impacts. I think a really good library for this stuff is Barney Oram, Black Powder Guns. That is really, really excellent stuff. It's not too. He's got a design section, but he's got like the kind of raw recordings as well. They are so good. That is definitely worth buying. It's probably one of the best libraries I've used for that kind of thing. So it's worth the money, absolutely. Okay, let's have a look at the clip here. Here's what we're going to try and design. Yeah, honestly, so worth it. He's got such good recordings. I'll end this recording, start a new one. End recording only. Stop recording this one.